Every second that you stay living in the past, holding onto something in the past, you miss out on an opportunity to create something even better for yourself in this very present moment. Hi guys, it's Joy, and in this video I'm going to be teaching you how to let go of the past, because most of us are still living in the past. We're holding on to some sort of story, some sort of belief, some sort of experience that we have created our entire identity around. This is what I need you to realize about the past, present, and future. You are not defined by any of your past experiences. You are not even defined by your belief system, your thoughts, your feelings, your experiences. You are not defined by any of those things. If there's anything that you are going to take away from this video, let it be this. You are not defined by anything other than what you decide to be in this very present moment. Okay, just take a second to think of what I just said. You are not defined by anything other than what you decide to be in this very present moment. You aren't even defined by who you were 10 seconds ago, 1 hour ago, 1 year ago, 10 years ago. The only question is, what are you still holding on to? What story, what belief, what thing is it that you are holding on to that is preventing you from being the person that you actually want to be today, right now? You have to understand that who you were 1 hour ago, even 1 second ago, 10 seconds ago, is not who you have to be right now. Like, people get defensive when I say this because they are very protective of their old ways of thinking and feeling and reacting. They like to keep themselves stuck in their own little cycle of thinking, and they come up with a billion of excuses as to why they cannot make the change that they want to make. And honestly, it just makes things 10 times, 100 times harder for them to do. Like, how many times have you ever heard or met or been this person who has ever said something like, I'm just that type of person. I was born like this is just my personality. I'm just someone who always struggles to find love on their own. I'm just the type of person who struggles to let go and forgive. Like, do you hear yourself? Yes, maybe in the past you were that version of yourself who found it hard to do all these things, but what purpose does it serve to hold on to that? You don't have to make one experience in the past, one struggle in the past, and make it your entire identity, because this is what most of us are doing, unconsciously or consciously. Maybe you had one experience in school where your friends unintentionally left you out, and 20 years later, now you're like, yep, I'm just a loner. I have no friends. I'm just the type of person who no one wants to be around. Or even in dating, when one person rejects you and you make that rejection your entire identity. You take that rejection so personally that you make that who you are. And you're just like, yep, I'm just the type of person that no one wants to date. I'm just the type of person who struggles to find someone that they can be with. Like, is that really true? Have you ever stopped to question, is this even true? Have you even stopped to challenge this story that you've been holding on to? Or are you just too scared to think differently and to believe differently? You need to think about, what purpose does it actually serve for me to be holding on to these stories? Is there even a purpose? The only purpose that I can think of, and it's not even a purpose, is it makes you feel a little bit better about yourself and your circumstance, because then you have an excuse to say as to why you weren't able to follow through with the change that you were looking to make. So for example, your identity that you're holding on to is, I'm the type of person who struggles to change. I don't even need to say much about that statement, because if you believe that, obviously you're going to experience that, and you're going to be able to make excuses for yourself when you don't follow through with the changes, because then you can just be like, yep, I'm just that type of person. I was just born this way. My personality is just like very rigid and stubborn, and it makes it hard for me to change. Like, what purpose does it serve to hold on to that belief? You're just making it 10 times harder for yourself. Do you see how you create so many excuses as to why you cannot follow through with the change that you are after? And it just holds you back, honestly. It prevents you from being the person that you actually want to be. Like, who was the person that decided that you are going to be this type of person, the type of person that struggles to make changes, the type of person that no one wants to be around, the type of person that always struggles with love. Who decided that? Who assigned that identity to you? You did. Not anyone else, not any other circumstance, but you. And I hope this video brings some consciousness, some awareness onto that fact, if that is you, if you recognize that that is you. And like, I get it. You come back to those stories because there's familiarity, there's safety, there's comfort around those stories, but you really have to sit down and ask yourself, what am I truly gaining out by holding onto this belief, by holding onto this story that in the past this happened to me and that's who I am today? What am I gaining out of this? What purpose does it serve me? Or am I even gaining anything out of this? Is it worth it for me to be continuing to live like this in an illusion of safety that is actually disguised by fear? If you truly understand what I'm saying, then you are going to be able to detach from the past and the future and live in the present, because you realize that 99% of the time, the reason why we emotionally suffer is because we are either reliving something that happened in the past, or we are worrying or anxious about something that could potentially happen in the future. You can never really truly experience the past or the future unless it's in the mind. And that kind of defeats the purpose of having a present moment and being able to live consciously and with awareness, because you're constantly all up in your head thinking about the past or the future. So understand that the present moment is actually the only time that is inherently real in a sense, and it's right in front of us, and it's the only time that you are ever going to be able to live physically, not in the mind. So if you want to move forward, if you are willing to move forward from the past more accurately, you have to think of every new second, every new moment is a clean slate of canvas. It's a clean slate of mind. You have a new mind every second, if that makes sense. Who you were 10 seconds ago is irrelevant to who you want to be now. I want you to picture this. You are at a crossroads in every new second. You have either the choice to go back to your current self, to your comfortable self, to your limited self, or you have the choice to go in the other direction to your new self, to your desired self, to the person that you are trying to become and embody. You always have that choice in every single second. Every new moment, that choice is always being presented to you. It's only a matter of if you are willing to become aware of it and to act on it and make the choice to choose the desired version that you actually want to become. Are you going to continue to walk down the path of your old self, or are you going to be continuing to walk down the path of your new desired self? Which one is it going to be? Because you always have that choice in front of you now. And if you realize that you've been walking the path of your old current self for some time and you don't like that, you don't like the fact that you've walked it for so long, that's okay. Bring your awareness back to the present moment. Realize that in this very moment that you are watching this video with me, you are able to choose differently. You are able to choose the version of yourself that is who you actually want to be, how you actually want to show up. You have that choice in your hands now. Leave the past behind. The power of the present moment is that you now have the ability to choose a different path for yourself and stop walking the path that you know does not serve you, you know does not expand you. And obviously this is not the same as suppressing or avoiding your thoughts and feelings. Take all the time that you need to process them, and when you are ready, recognize the choice that is in front of you now and choose differently. This is not done by forcing or by ignorance. It's done by truly becoming aware of the fact that who you are truly is not determined by anything on the outside. It's not determined by any circumstance, any experience, any other person other than you. And it most definitely isn't determined by your past experiences or who you were in the past. If you're waiting for closure from someone, what are you doing? What are you doing for real? Choose your peace. Make that choice to become the person that doesn't need that closure. Make the choice to become that person who is able to create their own life on their own without that other person first. Because every time you go back to the past, you think about that thing that you did 6 months ago and you feel regret and shame, you are missing out on an opportunity to create something even better for yourself right now. And it's honestly such a shame. So I have some homework for you guys if you guys are down for it. But at the end of the day today and tomorrow and the day after, I want you to come back to yourself, sit down and reflect on these 2 questions. The first one is, how much of my time was actually spent worrying about the past or the future? Or rather reliving the past and worrying about the future. And the second question is, how much of my time was actually lived consciously in the present moment and not on autopilot? And then for tomorrow, make the intention to show up differently if your answer was not aligned with who you actually want to be and you were not holding yourself up to that standard. Make the intention to show up differently and to follow through with what you have for yourself. Remember, change does not come from one big overnight thing that is done once. It's through little daily actions that you take on a day-to-day basis. It's habitual behavior that is done over and over again. It's the little changes in everyday choices that you are making every hour, every second, every minute. Remember the crossroads? That's what I'm talking about. That's all I have for you guys today. And I have a private paid community that is coming out soon. It's going to be so awesome. There's going to be group coaching, Patreon posts, exclusive content from me, and it's going to be so fun, so valuable. You'll want to be in it. So I'll let you know when that drops. And yeah, I believe in you guys. Dream big, and I'll catch you guys next time. Bye.